Hello everyone, my name is Himanshu and this is another episode of It Came From Japan. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a game called Onechanbara Z2 Chaos. Now, while that name might sound kind of stupid and clunky to some of the viewers, I know a lot of the viewers who are especially tuned into the Japanese market on the PS4 have probably seen this title before on the PSN. But they still probably haven't played the game before, considering the fact that the name of the game actually means sister sword fighting, and that would be kind of weird, especially if you don't really understand the Japanese market. This is the first game in the series to be localized since Onechanbara Bikini Zombie Slayers, which was exclusive to the Wii, and Onechanbara Bikini Samurai Squad, which was exclusive to the Xbox 360. Obviously, not a lot of people playing those games because the Xbox 360, not a platform where a lot of Japanese gamers are. And then the Wii, of course, everyone has a Wii, but really who was playing it aside from the people who were playing Smash Bros. So, released in July of 2015, Onechanbara Z2 Chaos comes out. It's developed by a developer in Japan called Tamsoft, which some of you may be familiar with, and it's published here in America by Xseed. It is a action hack and slash game, very similar to games like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And it features a very campy story, over-the-top gore, as you probably noticed already, extremely sexualized schoolgirls, pretty much everything we expect from Japanese games at this point. But it didn't really get very much attention because there are a lot of issues with the game, despite its core mechanics being fairly decent. As I mentioned earlier, the game does play a lot like something similar to Bayonetta or Devil May Cry or God of War. Basically, it's very similar to classic hack and slash games that have a combat system that relies heavily on comboing and stringing together attacks and canceling attack animations and doing all of those sort of things that fasten up the pace of the combat. There are 4 playable characters in Onechanbara Z2 Chaos, and each of them have their own unique abilities and attacks and unique characteristics and personalities, but you'll only be given 2 characters on any given level, and it's all dependent on the story. You can swap between the 2 characters as you wish, however. Onechanbara Z2 Chaos has some very glaring issues, though, that you need to be aware of before you go out and buy the game. Primarily, the game features characters and enemies that are heavily stylized and will remind you of pretty much anything Japanese, but the environments look just like an early PS2 game, and that is not an exaggeration. They are awful. There are barely any textures. The game just looks terrible. It's very off-putting, especially if you've been playing games like Uncharted 4 or The Witcher 3 or Platinum Demo, all of these games that have kind of heightened the bar for what is acceptable as graphics. And when we look at something like Onechanbara that really doesn't even come close to that, it's kind of weird. Especially because we can forgive something that doesn't have good graphics. I mean, for example, if you've read or watched my Senran Kagura review, you'll notice that the game isn't up there with the other AAA games. I mean, it's Senran Kagura game. It's not the best looking, but it has its own charm and it has its own style, and you can appreciate it for that. But Onechanbara looks fucking awful. Like, there is nothing good about Onechanbara's graphical style. Secondly, the voice acting is absolutely horrendous. When I started playing Japanese games on the PS4, I almost forgot the just terrible voice acting that people like me who love playing Japanese games had to endure early on in the PlayStation's ecosystem. For example, back in the PS2 days, voice acting in general has gotten so good that we almost forget how bad it used to be. And Onechanbara is a great reminder that it's really easy to fuck your voice acting up. And it hurts the game, honestly, because the story isn't great, but by no means is it's so horrendously corny that it's offensive. What is offensive, though, is the just utter ridiculousness that exists in this voice acting. It's just so bad. And plus, to make it all worse, they throw in a Japanese line every now and then to make it a little cute, but the voice actor obviously doesn't know how to speak Japanese, so it just sounds even worse.
Looking good, Saya. Now, what do you say we kick some ass? Korikara Hajimaru!
The unfortunate part about it is that the only thing going for Onechanbara is its gameplay. But it does its gameplay so well that you can kind of forgive everything else. You can forgive the fact that the game is only like 8 hours long. You can forgive the fact that the environments look like a PS2 game. You can I can't really forgive the fact that the voice acting is so terrible. But I will still play the game regardless of all of that because it's a solid, fast-paced, polished in some ways hack and slash game, which is severely lacking on the PS4. So, all in all, if you find Onechanbara for cheap, or if it's on sale on the PSN, which happens fairly often, then I would recommend picking it up. But if you see it for more than $20, I don't know, maybe wait a bit. You're not really missing out on anything. Unless you're severely craving something hack and slash on PS4 and you've already played Devil May Cry or the Devil May Cry remake, then maybe you want to check it out. But again, don't expect too much more than just solid gameplay because it's not there. It's really not. So forgive me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of It Came From Japan. And I hope to see you guys next time when I have a new Japanese game to show you. We might have to delve into the Vita and PS3 categories because there really aren't that many great or good or even acceptable Japanese PS4 games that I want to show you guys. Because again, I don't really want to show you the Final Fantasy. You guys already know it exists. I mean, if you don't know yet, Type 0 is really good. If you're looking for a good hack and slash game, wait out on Onechanbara. Type 0 is so much better. Oh my god. Final Fantasy Type 0, definitely over Onechanbara. But if you've already played Type 0, if you've already played DMC4, if you've already played DMC Devil May Cry, then give Onechanbara a try. So yeah, there aren't very many Japanese games to play on PS4. There aren't very many good Japanese games to play on PS4, so we might have to delve into the PS Vita categories and the PS3 categories, but there will be a new game to show you guys next week, and there will be a new game to show you guys every week, so make sure you tune in to PlayStation Enthusiast's YouTube channel. And you know, the best way to get notified that a new video goes up is by subscribing, so hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, send me a comment, tell me a game that you want me to talk about. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter at SeniorBrownCat. That's SENORBROWNCAT. And I will see you guys next time, but until then, it's really, really hot. So I'm gonna go take off all my clothes and run around in my house. Bye-bye.